Salve Vicini, or should I say hello everyone for those of you who don't speak Czech, much like me. Next up we face Fiorentina in the Wednesday night final of the Thursday night Conference League. Kick-off is at 8pm UK time, or 9pm if you're one of the lucky ones to be going out there, like me. BT Sport has the rights for this one, and the programme will be available even if you haven't got a subscription to their channels. That's free of charge. Obviously, there are fan parks aplenty all over the place as well, and I'm sure if you ask mine host nicely, they'll put it on for you at your local. So, Fiorentina then. Their route to this stage was similar to ours, with only the added inconvenience of an extra knockout round to negotiate on the way. They started out in a group comprising of Latvians RFS, Hearts, and the team from Istanbul nobody can remember or spell because they aren't Fenerbahce or Galatasaray. Given that level of opposition, it should have been a bit of a cakewalk for Fiorentina to qualify in top position, and thus giving themselves the luxury of an extra couple of weeks' break from Thursday night football. However, they may have been a bit undercooked at the start of the season, with RFS coming away from Florence with a 1-1 draw. And the next week they got thoroughly walloped 3-0 in Istanbul, which must have set off a few murmurs amongst the faithful. Of course, whenever you need a boost and 3 easy points, it's useful to have Scottish opponents lined up to get you back on their right path. Back-to-back wins against Hearts, 3-0 in Edinburgh and 5-1 in Florence, saw them right back on track. A 3-1 defeat of the Turks at home was followed by a 3-0 win in Riga to see Fiorentina qualify. However, the early bumps in the road were not without their consequences, as the Turks topped the group on goal difference. Finishing in second place saw them face a playoff round against Portugal's Braga, who had been parachuted in from the so-called Champions League. This round was all but put to bed in the first leg when they went to Braga and won 4-0. The second leg, 3-2 home win, was interesting for a bit as Braga raced into a 2-0 lead within 35 minutes. But that was about as good as it got, with Fiorentina pulling one back before the interval, equalising before the hour and netting a late winner just before the close. The draw for the last 16 was kind to them, taking them once more to Turkey, where they faced Sivasspor, another team that isn't Galatasaray or Fenerbahce. The first leg in Florence was slightly cagey, with Fiorentina scoring a 69th minute winner. The return leg in Sivas actually saw the Turks take the lead, but 4 unanswered goals made the tie a lot more comfortable than it looked like being at one stage. From Turkey they went to Poland, where they thought the hard work had all been done in the first leg against Lech Poznan, as they took a 4-1 lead back to Italy. However, the Poles had other ideas and led 3-0 with 12 minutes left on the clock. However, a late brace spared them both extra time and blushes and put them through 6-4 on aggregate. That theme of not really making it easy for themselves carried over to the semi-finals, where FC Basel came from behind in Florence to take a 2-1 lead back across the Alps. The second leg was a bit of a thriller. Fiorentina went 2-1 up on 72 minutes to bring the tie level on aggregate. Extra time happened, and then with 11 minutes left, the game was stopped due to a medical emergency in the crowd. We understand that the supporter was okay, but it looked serious at the time. When play resumed, Fiorentina hit a winner in the 10th minute of stoppage time to send them through to Wednesday's final. Incidentally, whilst Daisy was looking up the details of that semi-final, a misplaced click saw us alight on the website of Basel's Restaurant Fiorentina. I bet that place was rocking on semi-final night. Domestically, it's been a bit of a mixed bag for them. They're 10th in Serie A with 59 points from the 37 played so far. Their wins have come in clusters rather than consistently across the season. The 5 in a row from February to April, culminating in a 1-0 defeat of Inter in the San Siro, probably being the best run. However, since then, it's been a bit of a curate's egg, with their last 9 providing 3 wins, 4 draws and 2 defeats. They've got 1 left to play in the league, a dead rubber against Sassuolo, to come on Sunday. One would expect them to field a much-changed team for that one. Their top scorer is a chap called Arthur Cabral. The Brazilian arrived in January 2022 from, of all clubs, FC Basel, for a fee rising to a potential €16.5 million with add-ons. Basel will only see 70% of all that, with the player's previous 2 Brazilian clubs being on a bit of an earner. Cabral has 16 goals in 27 matches across all competitions this season. Daisy's tip for Danger Man is Nicolas Gonzalez. The right winger was on target twice in the second leg of the semi-final and is described as a tricky little blighter with a decent bit of pace. He was in the original Argentina squad for the World Cup last winter, but pulled out just a few days before the start with injury. He's been a regular in the Argentina side over the past few years, with 22 caps in the wardrobe to date. They've chopped and changed a bit in the goalkeeping area. Pierluigi Gallini, not to be confused with the similarly named slaphead referee, came in on loan from Atalanta and was the original first-choice custodian. However, he switched over to being first choice on Thursday night, playing in 5 of the 6 group matches. He returned to Atalanta en route to another loan spell at Napoli. Subsequently, Pietro Terracciano has played in 3 of the 4 subsequent Thursday night matches, and one would expect him to be between the sticks again on Wednesday. Let's have a quick look, shall we, to the wild and wacky world of association football. And congratulations to Sevilla on yet another Europa League win, thus proving that they can win it time and time again, as long as we're not in it.
And there is Viola!
The final against Roma was a niggly affair and gave referee Anthony Taylor a very busy evening, the highlight of which was his awarding a yellow card for a blatant dive. Ref watchers up and down England were seen to faint at this sight, Taylor not having shown the slightest inkling that he knew what a dive was in 13 years in the so-called select group. Roma manager Mourinho was predictably forthright, likening Taylor's performance to what we will refer to as bovine excrement. If UEFA fine him, it won't be the most surprising fine of Mourinho's life. Of the £300,000 plus in fines he paid in this country, approximately £75,000 came from matches involving Taylor either as referee or fourth official. And so to us. Well, the amount of damns given about last week's result could be gauged by the mood of the away support, who were in prime Mickey-taking party mode. As mentioned last week, Leicester were the side most people least wanted to go down, mainly because they're not Everton or Leeds. However, hereabouts, we do reserve a particular circle of hell for clubs that play music after goals, something that had the proverbial ripped out of it by the 3,000 hammers present last Sunday. A little less wastefulness in front of goal from us would have made results elsewhere academic, despite referee Hooper doing all he could to assist the Foxes. The foul on Antonio in the box that wasn't given was identical to the one that was up the other end that led to their second goal a couple of minutes later. And Hooper's attitude to advantage was to prevent it accruing whenever we looked lively. Oh well, never mind. The good news is we have pretty much a full squad to choose from, with the exception of Scamacca, obviously. The players have been sitting back and enjoying a few days in the Algarve. They look quite relaxed, which is no bad thing. Which leads me on to the prediction. On most levels, this would normally be a difficult one to gauge. The two sides are quite similar, and, well, similar histories. I don't know. However, this is a bit different. It's a cup final, and in honour of those who are no longer with us to be there, I'm going to throw not only the £2.50 I got for selling one of those stupid clapper things I found in the street to a tearful 10-year-old female Leicester fan on the way back to the station last weekend, but also £2.50 from my own pocket on a win to us. Yes, from my own pocket. Daisy, please pop down to Mr. Winston's and put it all on us to win 2-1. Yeah, okay, I'll settle up with you later, love, all right? Enjoy the game.
James Corden.
Hi.
Big West Ham fan.
Yes. And big knees up Mother Brown, man.
Yeah.
Get on the forum at kumb.com. Come on, you irons.